Hello, everyone. Welcome to Christopher's Entertainment Blog. I'm your host, Chris. Welcome back to the second half of uh, season 3 of Arrow. This is episode 10 entitled "Left Behind." And man, guys, it was actually kind of a short, holiday break. Really, it was actually kind of short. It was only like 4 weeks or something, right? So it was not that long. But it's great to have Arrow back. I'm sure everyone, all of you guys, are happy to have it back, including myself. And after that, just unbelievably, oh my god, moment of what happened during the cliffhanger before the break, where Oliver fights Ra's al Ghul, he loses, and gets kicked off that cliff. And it was a cliffhanger. it was a cliffhanger indeed. But it was interesting. It was interesting. We were all like, we know, I knew, and many of you know that. Well, Oliver's not dead. I mean, he's not dead. I mean, they got to bring him back somewhere. They didn't say Stephen Amell. You had a great run, but we're going to replace it now with Canary and Arsenal. They're taking over. It's going to be the adventures of Arsenal and Canary. But no, we knew that wasn't going to happen. Oliver's coming back, but how is he going to come back? Well, I speculated that maybe a Lazarus Pit was involved because Ra's al Ghul, the Lazarus Pit. Well, I was off a little bit. It turned out they didn't even mention a Lazarus Pit, and I think even Stephen Amell even tweeted like, "No, we're not going to use a Lazarus Pit, so don't get your hopes up." Which is sad. It's kind of sad. I really wanted to see the Lazarus Pit. I wanted to see that. Ugh. Oh well. But oh well. But we see what we see. Well, before I get into that, I want to mention, Diggle, Roy, Felicity. They think, Amell is, or not Amell. Oliver, he went off. He's been going for 4 days, and they're trying to keep things together. They're going out. They're still fighting crime. They're getting these bad guys. Arsenal's on the motorcycle, and he's trying to, they're trying to do their best. Diggle is in the suit, Arrow's actual suit. It's tight, he's just like, he's like, man, this thing is tight, which is very funny. So, I mean, they're trying to do their best to make it look like Arrow's still around. And they're trying to do their best. And we see that, and Felicity's trying to hold it together. And then eventually, Merlin shows up, and he's just like, after, Thea's just like, where's Oliver? Can you go find him? Or what, can you use your connection? He's like, okay, I'll go use my connections. And I got to tell you, John Barrowman is wonderful. He plays that character beautifully. I love John Barrowman in this show. He is great as Malcolm Merlin. He might be, he's quickly becoming one of my favorite characters on the show. He's so great. He's really, really awesome. I like him in the show. He's just so wonderful. And he makes his way down into the foundry, the Arrow Cave. He just goes in, and he's just. He ends up telling them, he's like dead. You're going to have to accept that. He even goes to the mountain where they did the fighting, brings the sword back, shows them, and that was ballsy. That was kind of ballsy to go where the League of Assassins are. They want you dead, but you go into that danger to get this sword. That was kind of ballsy, or maybe kind of stupid. I don't know. But they confirm, it was Oliver's blood. And I think it starts to dawn on Felicity that, he's gone, and it hits her hard. And, it felt real to me. It really did feel real that she would feel that way. She was brokenhearted. The others were brokenhearted as well, but she is really taking it, very hard, understandably. And even, when she's trying to help Ray Palmer, who, we know from the last episode before the break, he wants her to help him with the Atom suit. He's still doing that, trying to get it to work, whatever. And then she basically comes to him and says, if you want to commit suicide, if you want to go down this path, fine, but I'm not going to help you. Because she sees him going down the same path as Oliver has went, and now he's dead, she believes. She don't want to see Palmer go down. She cares for Ray Palmer. You can see that, and she don't want him heading down that same path. And she was really taking it hard, and it felt real. And I love those scenes with Felicity. She was great in this episode. This was a very, very good episode. Because of her, because of what she did, and John Barrowman did excellent as well. We see that, we see them trying to hold things together, and they're just like, they're spent, they don't know what to do, and they're just like, and she even, Felicity even says, she walks out, she said, I'm done, goodbye. So it looks like she might be done. I don't think she's done. She'll come back once everything settles down, but right now she feels she's done. So, but we also, in the midst of all this going on, we see a new villain. We see Brick, and I know from the comics he's kind of be like this impervious, like unstoppable force type character, and they played it as that. Vinnie Jones is great. Vinnie Jones is wonderful. We even see, like, when he was trying to steal the evidence, we even see him take a shot to the head. Diggle shoots him in the head, like the forehead or something. I don't understand, like, how he is, like, he a metahuman or something? How is he able to not be killed? I mean, they need to explain that a little bit more. That's very interesting. I don't know where they'll go with that. But they end up getting this evidence that they're trying to release all these, like, prisoners or whatever, and Felicity ends up basically giving it to them because she doesn't want Diggle or Arsenal or Roy to be killed. And she's kind of like hesitating now because she doesn't want anyone else to get hurt, her friends to get hurt. So it's kind of putting them in danger at the same time. So now Brick, he has all these guys. He's got the evidence, and it's like everything they work for is going down the toilet. So things are getting pretty bad, and pretty bad in the Glades. They're going to take over the Glades now, and there's nobody really there to stop them. And in the midst of all this, we have Laurel. Laurel, I think, does well as like a DA in that role. She does okay in that role. But I mean, they are pushing her to become Canary, and we see that. We see that in this episode. And I don't know what to think about this kid. I do not know what to think. I think it's too soon. If they want to put her in the character, fine, but they're not explaining it very well. I mean, she can't just go out there and think she's her sister and just start beating up dudes like she's a 10th degree black belt. I mean, she just swings that, like, that club or whatever. I don't know. It's not very believable to me. I think it's a mistake right now. If they would have her training for a while, then maybe it's a little bit more believable. Let her come in maybe next season or the season after that. But, I mean, I think it's too soon, and they're really pushing it. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just like, right now, I mean, she's not trained, and then what is Oliver going to think when, he comes back after he said, no, don't you do this? Now she's out there trying to think she's Sarah. I don't know what to think. I think it's a mistake right now. I think they should have left that go. And that one-liner she had was horrible. I forget what it was, like something like something justice. My justice or something. I don't know. It was ridiculous. Yeah, I think she looks good in the suit. Personally, for me, I think she looks good in the suit, even though it's like all these like buckles and stuff all over it. It doesn't look anything like Sarah's suit. I mean, I don't know how she tailored this so quickly. She went to like a craft store and like crafted and sewed on all these buckles and everything. I don't know, because it looks nothing like the Sarah suit. And it's fits her perfectly. It's weird. So that's kind of a bad explaining what's going on with that. I mean, she's just had a few boxing lessons, and now all of a sudden she's going to go out there and she's going to think she's, a master in martial arts. I am not buying that right now. But on the flip side, Thea has been training with Merlin. You see him train. They're training with the swords like all the time. Now this is like the last few times they've been training, and you can assume that they've been training. And that's starting to become a little bit more believable. I'm starting to warm up now to Thea. She's not as bad now. I'm liking that a little bit better. And even Roy. Roy actually was great this episode. I thought he was really well done. They finally gave him some like dialogue and some things to do, and that felt better. It felt really better that he was actually felt like he was part of something instead of just like some dude, that's just wandering around and not really involved in anything, or just not having no lines or anything. It just felt so dry. But now, I mean, he felt like he was like better. Everything was better. I like that. The only thing is just the Laurel thing. It's just, no, I don't know. Not yet. Maybe I'll warm up to that eventually. But right now, it's a bad how they're doing that. I wish they would change that. But they've already started it, so there we go. Yeah, I mean, we also see some more of the flashbacks in this episode. Now that's a slow burn as well with that, with the Hong Kong and all that. We find out that what was Masayo's his wife's name? Was it Tatsu? Oh, I'm blanking on that now. I can't. Yeah, oh yeah, Tatsu. That's what it was. Tatsu. He's trying to find her, but then like finally, then we go where Oliver is being saved by one of the League of Assassins. We find out that it is it is Masayo that, and we find, in the flashback he says, "I owe you my life" or whatever, for putting that GPS tracker on that dude to find Tatsu. So we see that he's going to save him, and he ends up going to Tatsu in the woods. I mean, that's kind of weird. Why is she in the woods? And she's not that far from where they did the fighting, because he carried him like on the stretcher thing. I don't know if she's going to be like some type of a witch now. I mean, I don't know what type of power she has to basically heal bone and wounds that are, I don't know. That's another thing that I'm not quite buying, is we see one scene where it zooms past the sword and like over the cliff, and it goes down, down, down to where Oliver is like dead. Well, if that fall should have like busted his skull open like a melon. But yet, I mean, when he's in there with Tatsu, he like wakes up. He has no head injuries. His bones are not shattered into a billion pieces. He's just got that wound. Oh yeah. That's one thing I did not buy at all. That was a bad choice. I mean, I think the Lazarus Pit would have been a better decision. At least dump him in that. At least it would have said, well, that healed everything, I don't know. I'm not quite buying that whole Tatsu healing thing. I don't know what they're doing with that. That's very strange. That's one negative, or one of the other negatives I had. But yeah, we'll see how that goes with that. I don't know. Another negative that I had that I found was just so ridiculously stupid is everyone keeps going into the Foundry, the Arrow Cave, and they show a scene where they're going through the club and then behind the bar, and then they look at the door and it's ajar. It's open, and then they find out Merlin's down there. Well, the sister Thea owns the club, right? She owns the club. How does she not know what's behind that door? It's like, well, this door's got a keypad on it, and all these people, even Laurel, keep going down in there. I'm not gonna. I don't care. Just let it go. I own the building, but I don't care about this secret door that I can't get into. That is just so ridiculously stupid. When Oliver owned the club, I could understand that, but now it's just like, wow, that is a bad plot hole there. I mean, they need to, let her know what's going on, because right now it's just stupid. It's really dumb. And it's just like, well, then Thea even says to Roy, well, I know that's you, jumping around in the red suit, but can you go tell the other guy that that the arrow, to find Oliver. Well, wait a minute. You can tell that that's Roy jumping around, but you can't tell your own brother when you're battling him and you're like right like there. In that one other episode, I think it was like the last before the break. That's bad too. I mean, there's a few things that are nitpick bad that they need to fix, but overall, this was a good episode overall, and I really liked it. And but yeah, guys, I'm glad to have it back. But those things, it's just, it's too bad that they have those things there kind of hanging out there that are just these bad things mixed in with these great things, and it's just too bad that they had strong other characters like Moira and these other strong women like Sin. Sin was a good character. And some of the other ones that they had, it's just, and then they have Laurel, which is just, I don't know. I just don't know what to say, about that. I mean, it's just like it's like they're kind of botching that a little bit, and I'm trying to deal with that and trying to understand where they're trying to go with that, but it just seems like they're just not quite doing that character right, and they're pushing too fast. But overall, guys, I really enjoyed the episode. I can't wait to see where they go now with the Brick character. That's going to carry on. I know Oliver's going to be out for like another 2 or 3 episodes, so it's going to be interesting how that goes next week. How it goes, because we know he came back to life at the end. So there's more to come with that, and eventually, we're going to barrel down to the end of the season, which I think is going to be explosive end of the season. But yeah, guys. Also, if there's anything I missed, guys, let me know in the comments below. I want to read your comments if I missed anything or whatever. If you have anything to add, please let me know. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Also, like and subscribe, guys. I do appreciate the support. I do have fun doing watching Arrow and doing these little shows or whatever. It is fun, and appreciate the support, guys. Thanks a lot. All the ones that have subscribed, thank you very much. But that's going to be it for me, guys. I am Chris for Christopher's Entertainment Blog. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy.